all good. Water, not alcohol, doesn't matter. But I'm here to make as fast as possible. We'll see how that goes. Video about a little thing I thought it while watching a gameplay yesterday, and the name of the game is called the Stanley Parable. Now, in this game, the guy that you're playing, Stanley, he is a office worker, and you know, he does his day-to-day every day as normal, but this one day he goes into the office as normal. All of a sudden, I don't know, I can't remember what he did, but he finds out that all of his coworkers are missing, just gone, vanished. And he's in some kind of alternate universe where this narrator, God, as you will, tells him, like, you know, kind of red pill, blue pills him. Kind of red pill, blue pills him. And, you know, tells him to make all these choices, like, are you going to go through the red door or the blue door? Or, you know, go through the red door, you know, although as the player, you being the player, Stanley, he also has the choice to make other choices and go against what the narrator is telling him to do. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna tell you. If you wanna watch that game, you know, watch gameplay of that. Yeah, what? It's almost food time. So we're gonna make it fast. Bye. You'll be alright. Anyway, yeah. So that was probably a stupid idea. God damn, girl. God damn, I love you. Anyway, yeah, so Stanley has the choice, you know, as a player, you have the choice to make choices going against the narrator, make your own choices, and that is what the game is about. Go watch it if you want to know more. Because of that, in the game, you can also have alternate endings and, you know, yeah, shit like that. So, God damn, girl, you're so hairy. Yeah. Let's get into it. See me licking my glasses. Don't ask me no questions, man. Please. Don't worry about it. Whatever. What was that? It's okay. As good as it's gonna get for now, but that's none of y'all's concern. That's my concern. Anyway, yeah. In the beginning of the game, good lord, we're wasting time here. 35 minutes. They show Stanley's cubicle or his section, and they show that he is worker number 427. So these numbers are significant because, they individually have their meanings, but as a group, they have their group meaning, if you will. Yeah. And then as you progress in the game, the person that I was watching play made decisions that led him to this room. And so the narrator told him, hey, pick up the phone so you can contact your, family, and reconnect with them and leave this, this place, this hell. But the player that I was watching decided to unplug the phone, which led the narrator to say this: I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? And so this is significant to these numbers because of the meaning behind these numbers. Now, also, I want you guys to notice the color choices that they, the color choices that they decided to, repeat here, which are the gray and yellow. Oh, that's a meme. But yeah, also the gray room, gray floors, gray walls, and the yellow telephone. So let's get into why all of that is significant, or why all of that, plays into each other. Now, again, as usual, I put all my shit in notes, and we'll get into them. Now, I'm gonna break it down simply as I can, but yeah. So let's start off with the numbers 427. The meanings behind those numbers that I mentioned earlier. I don't think I have to explain that any further, to be honest. Let me say the full meaning altogether again. Caring about your personal values and having the wisdom to balance them out. Getting your priorities straight, balancing out your priorities and seeing what still works for you, what doesn't. what you still want to go after, what you no longer care for, what you no longer want to put energy into, you know, and shit like that. And we're gonna get into that deeper as we go on as well. Yeah. So we've had the conversation of, you have the choice to make choices before. I just want to talk about how it's kind of cool to see that everything in their individual groupings start from 0 to infinity, white to black, how they're all the same shit and they just play out in different ways on different values and scales. And how meanings intertwine. How all these created experiences created by all of us tie in together, Teamwork makes the dream work. Shout out Yuri up. It's all connected, it all comes full circle. So let's move on to gray. It's neutral. Nut. The fuck? But also dull. It's in between the extremes of black and white. Okay, I got distracted for a second. Gray also said this is gonna be super important in a little bit as well. So we'll get into those two. It signifies wisdom, calmness, lax energy. But also detachment and boredom. I hope y'all can read my handwriting. But yeah. So gray is on the spectrum of that's another thing. On the spectrum of values. So on the spectrum of values, in the grayscale color space, or on the grayscale color wheel. So it's kind of like it's in its own space, apart from the primary colors, the primary color wheel, the wheel that comprises of yellow to black, or yellow to what's darker, blue or purple? Blue, because red and blue make purple. Yeah, blue, because blue would be the last primary color, and then shades of blue. Okay. Yeah. But would it be? No. What's green? Would it be green? It does make sense. I don't know. Y'all can look that up. Anyway. Yeah. That's not what we're talking. Well, it's a part of what we're talking about, but it's also kind of not. Let's continue. So, gray is not a hue because it's neutral. Again, because it's neutral. So because it lacks color, because it's neutral, it lacks energy. I don't think I need to write all of that. People also call it achromatic, meaning that there are no, that it's a color with no dominant hue or dominant saturation. It can be chromatic, but the primary colors without the respects of yellow, which would be red, green, blue. So RGB would have to be closer to gray in order to tint the gray, which, you know, tinted grays are still neutrals because of the lack of color, the lack of energy. But that's another conversation. You can look into that as well. So let's move on to yellow. Signifies happiness. Joy. Energy. Like giving feeling to a thought, you know, like what I explained earlier in the video. It's also not, it's also, well, yeah, let me say this. It's also the start of the primary color wheel. Some examples would be cream. Some example colors, like the lighter shades, you know, of yellow, from white to yellow, would be like cream, eggshell, or vanilla. And then red would be the next extreme. Extreme color. The next extreme color of primary colors. After that, again, it's blue, making that the last. But because of this, because of red being the next extreme color, and because it's, you know, in the order of, I guess, hues, if you want to call white a hue, but I wouldn't, because white is the lack of, it is the negative. So I don't know, words are so fucking funny, bro. Anyway, let's just call white a color. On the list of colors, it would be from white to yellow to red. So this would make yellow the neutral, I guess, you know, of red and white. Now, we are going to get into why that is significant. Yeah. Well, we're going to get into why that's significant now. So, because, you know, yellow isn't a neutral color, obviously, but it is the, you know, neutral of those two extremes. Yellow and gray are both their own kinds of neutral, if that makes sense. Gray kind of makes me think about whatever this face. And yellow, you know, as we all know, represents this face most of the time. Most of the fucking time. I don't know. Black and white well, we'll get into that. So they're the neutrals. Yeah. Or they're the neutrals of their, in their own individual ways. Black and white would kind of, make me think of these faces, where white would be the lack of expression and black would be all of the, just happy, sad, confused, knowing, I don't know, everything. Just all of it, right? So these are kind of like the in-betweens, the in a sense, the starters of, the chaos, like the beginning and the end, and the end and the beginning, and the intertwining of those, and the hues and tints and shades in between, if that makes sense. Again, black and white, positive, negative, the totality, although there is no 100%, but yeah, of energy and emotions and all of that, and then white being the lack of. That doesn't make it, good or bad. It just is what it is. Trying to focus, but whatever. It just is what it is. These values and shades are what we dance through and with every day. We literally live in all the choices we've made and are currently making as these seconds pass by. They're neither good or bad, Again, I've said that like how many times, but y'all get it. They're not good or bad in the sense of what I think I've explained that already, in the sense of what we normally call negative and positive, like anyway, that's significant. That'll add to what I'm talking about as I go further. So because our choices literally become real, you always have the ability to maneuver through your life the way you want to, the way you choose to. You always constantly choose your happiness, no matter what that may look like for you, no matter what color wheel or color spectrum. Also, don't forget that the spectrum of consequences to your actions are infinite as well, and that you will always get exactly what you deserve in whatever way will be done. You already know, be careful of what or who you wish for, and be aware of how you're wishing. Be in the right vibration of how you know you'll feel once you're receiving what you seek, because as y'all know, it's already yours. You just gotta believe. Man, I'm blurry, but it's okay. It's okay. So, pick your party poison. What is it that you for real want to experience? Create that by making and valuing your own individual meaningful choices. Another thing that I'd like to add let's go back to this picture again, where the yellow phone, or where the phone is yellow and the surroundings, the settings are gray. This is significant to me as well. This is getting ready to sound like what is it? A language arts videography, like video essay. But anyway, they're significant to me because their meanings, like the yellow phone to me represents y'all don't gotta see it again. Anyway, the yellow phone to me represents, picking up you're like picking up opportunities and, you know, putting energy into like not just new things, but things that you know, value, again, things that you care about, your values. And then the gray setting, you know, the gray floors, the gray walls, to me represent staying in the same space, the same routine that you've been doing for however long, you know. And it's neutral, you know, because it's nothing that you like hate or that you love. You've been doing it for, you know, it's routine. It's just, it's neutral, you know. So it's either, it's kind of like you can, you know, choose to stay and be comfortable, or you can, you know, take these calls, choose to endeavor in your values, choose to, you know, live, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think that's it. You know, so what meaningful choices are you gonna make in your lifetime? And you have all of your lifetime to, you know, not only make choices, but to rewrite your story. You hear it all the time that you're reborn like every day, you know, you're reborn every second. I've said it before as well. So you don't have to stick to things in your life, you know. You can change who you are at any point in time, right now, if you want to, you know. But again, you could be in your own version of your gray room, and if you're happy, you're happy. If you're comfortable, you're comfortable. You don't have to pick up any phone or go through any door, and that's your choice. But, you know, that's your meaningful choice. So it is what it is, but also be careful what you wish for, and the bed you make, you lay in, or whatever, however that quote goes, something like that. So you want to keep those things in mind, because like I said earlier, every choice has its consequence as well. Every action has its consequence. So, you know, however that works for your, you know, your individual life, because everybody's life, yes, we have similar situations, but we all go through it so almost so drastically different. Like the perspectives are so different, man. So, you know, do what you gotta do, what you can for you, you know, and thus you can help others as we're all figuring our shit out, you know, our own individual shit out, and playing our own individual like game of life, but together, you know. All is well, and I love y'all. Bye.